What's going on, guys? White Fox Told 25 here with another video, and today we're gonna have a special episode of the Elder Scrolls Online Saturday. It's gonna be a little bit shorter. I kind of wanted to make an episode that would just fill in the gap between the announcement of Orsinium and the actual release of Orsinium, which will be November 1st for PC. And you guys can expect me to be doing a review and first impression video and all that stuff for Orsinium. But when we have some little downtime, I figured I'd make an episode of Elder Scrolls Online Saturday where we could talk about something I want to talk about a while, but really haven't had some time to, and that's the possibility of Dawnguard being in the Elder Scrolls Online. So I thought about this since the launch of the game, and I really, just haven't made a video on it, which is kind of weird. So I figured I'd take the time today and do that and just have some fun with it. So first off, before we get into the Dawnguard stuff, let me just say that there is a really cool link in the description where you guys can get some wallpapers for the Elder Scrolls Online. It's every single wallpaper for the game, and a lot of them aren't on the Elder Scrolls Online official website. So if you guys want to go check that out, that is in the link in the description. But moving on, let's just talk about the Dawnguard stuff. So, in case you guys don't know, the Dawnguard is a guild that was added to Skyrim through DLC, and kind of their sole purpose is to hunt vampires across Skyrim. And, their background is kind of, shady, but they are in the same era as Elder Scrolls Online. That's when they were founded, in the second era, which is the same era that ESO takes place. So, it's definitely possible we could see them. So, first off, let me explain the backstory of the guild in the second era, a little bit of lore behind them, and then we'll go into what I would want to see if they were implemented in the game and stuff like that. So like I said, guys, it's going to be a bit of a shorter episode, but it's going to be pretty cool to speculate on this. So first off, let's go into the lore. Like I said, Dawnguard was founded in the second era, and they were founded by the Jarl of Riften, who at the time had a son who contracted vampirism. He was bit by a vampire or whatever, and then he hired these guys to, watch his son and sort of quarantine his son in Fort Dawnguard, which was built for his son. And they wanted to quarantine him because obviously he didn't want his son going around spreading vampirism and being, doing vampire stuff. But he didn't want, to kill his son either. So he hired these guys to sort of quarantine him in this castle. But they eventually ended up killing him. Now, why they did that is up to interpretation. Whether or not, they had to, or if they just didn't think he deserved to live anymore. That's up to interpretation. But they did end up killing him. And, they were kind of disbanded by the Jarl. But they continued being a vampire hunting group. But they ended up kind of being more like hired thugs at some point, it sounds like. They didn't have a lot of honor. They're kind of like a loose group of vampire hunters, maybe not with a huge moral code, but they eventually disbanded until they were, reforged in the fourth era, which is where the Skyrim DLC takes place. But we're going to focus on the second era in this video. So some people say that eventually they became vampires themselves when they realized how much power it held. But not a lot is known because eventually, like I said, they did disband and they weren't refounded again until the fourth era. So there's a lot of cool lore there and a lot of cool stuff you could do with for a DLC for the Elder Scrolls Online, especially because all that beginning stuff with the lore happened in the second era. So that's all stuff we could see. But first off, let me just say that Castle Dawnguard is in Riften, so that could easily be added to the game because the Rift is, as you know, already a zone we have in the Elder Scrolls Online. So that could be pretty easily added, and that could be a cool place to start the DLC. So now let me move into what I actually want to see from the, the quest line and the DLC that would be added to the Elder Scrolls Online. So I think our origin story could be really cool. Like I just said, the guild has some really cool lore. I think it could be awesome to see, the guild founded by the Jarl and then eventually being disbanded, and keep hunting vampires. I think that could be, a really cool storyline. Maybe at the end you get a choice whether or not to, let the guild become vampires or just to, disband or something like that, where it would go with the lore that's already in the game, and the origin story would be really awesome. And I think it would just make a really great story for a guild, and I would absolutely love it to see in the game. Obviously a new skill line for the guild would be great. We already know we're getting skill lines for the Thieves Guild and the Dark Brotherhood, so a skill line for this would be really cool. I guess it would focus on, maybe hunting vampires and werewolves, which is already kind of like the Fighters Guild. Maybe they have to find something a little bit more unique, but having their own skill line could be pretty cool. Another thing that would be really awesome is if we could have our own Dawnguard armor in the Elder Scrolls Online. So that was something that was in Skyrim, and I absolutely love that armor a lot. I really liked it. So I would love to see it in ESO. So that would make sense if this does come as a DLC, that it would have its own armor too. Kind of like the Dark Brotherhood and the Thieves Guild are going to have their own armor when they actually do come next year. So that's pretty much just my, you know, kind of wish for the Dawnguard in the Elder Scrolls Online. If we're actually gonna see it, I, you know, honestly have no idea. I doubt we're gonna see it soon because the devs haven't even talked about it. But who knows? You know, they're gonna be making DLC for this game for a really long time, so it's possible a year or 2 years from now that they decide to put this in the game, and I would absolutely love to see it. And you know, who knows what the future holds. So that's going to be it for the video. If you guys have anything to add at all, make sure you just leave in the comments below. If you want to check out my Twitter, Instagram, you can do that in the description as well as check out those wallpapers I was talking about before. If you guys want to see more, make sure you subscribe. If you like what you saw, give the video a like. As always, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. We got more videos on Elder Scrolls Online when Orsinium comes out November 1st, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.